didn't you? And you fought racism all the way through.
I
So
said,
if we go back on that, that's the background to where we are today, isn't it?
I spoke to some lads today, some other lads I'm meant to be meeting next week, and said, look, I can show you 10 years worth of videos, comments, my actions that totally counter the fact that I'm a racist, yeah, in this, or against black people from day dot. We had our slogan when we first started was Black and White Unite. The first ever rally we had for the EDL said we stand with our brothers who are victims of jihad in Nigeria, because there'd been a massive attack in Nigeria. We made it very clear, I made it very clear in my speeches, in my actions, as an organisation, that we welcomed everyone. I think the dangerous point we're getting to now, I've gone on a rant, and basically what I've done is I've given the people who have disliked me anyway, I've given them the ammunition they've needed to then basically say, see, look, like I had mates saying, mate, I've had people say to me, see, now he's finished with Islam, now he's on you lot, now he's on your community. But that's not the case. That's come across like that because people are taking it that if you criticise Black Lives Matter, you are criticising black people. Whereas Black Lives Matter and the people orchestrating and running Black Lives Matter are not even black people. And do you know what? I've actually proved that this week. I held a meeting this week at my home. I had activists come. One was very vocal activist from a town for BLM. There was a few of them that come, and this one girl, she come, and we also had Luke, who made a reaction video to my video, who come down from Scotland, very intelligent, understands the ideology behind this. I've done an hour-long interview with him separate to speak to him about his beliefs, where he comes from. I think it's important that we have black voices in the UK who are countering this argument, to separate, to show that actually members of the black community aren't Marxists, don't want this. So that's what I was doing. And when this girl started ranting and the question was asked about black people being killed disproportionately by police, I believe Luke said, no, actually, that's not true. Yeah, that's not what the data shows us. She then went on to call him racial slur after racial slur after racial slur, and then threatened to smash his head in.
Let's be clear, you haven't said it. Luke was black, isn't he? Luke is black, she's black. They're both black. Yeah.
Luke's black.
Yeah.
And then she went on to say she will violently beat the hell out of him. And look, the thing is, when I've done my interview with Luke before, I said, what sort of criticism do you think you'll get? What sort of names do you think you'll get called for coming out and telling the truth about this issue? And every name he predicted he would be called, this girl an hour later called him within one little 10-second period. Then she threatened to smash his head in. And Luke's point was gold. It just said, this is the problem. It's emotion. Yeah, quick violence. And Luke then asked, because there was about 5 black people that come, and all of them were pretty much ganging up against Luke. And Luke went round each one of them. Have you got the data? Do you know the data? No. Do you know the data? Do you know the data? Do you know the data? So you're all here basing your argument on what? Because you're not basing it on the facts or the research into deaths in police custody, into arrest rates, into murder rates, into anything. And what we've got now is an entire population in this country being whipped up on lies, on false narratives. Now, that's not to say there's not some serious issues within certain communities with policing, with things that have gone on, but they're in our community. We've got those serious issues. Our daughters are the daughters that have been gang raped across this country. Well, I can name you multiple racist murders against white people that no one in this country knows their names. So we feel the same. That's the point I was trying to make to them, is you're seeing this from you're going into historical abuses, into slavery, into how long you've been oppressed through history. But we can all pick that. My mum's from Ireland. I could go into Irish history. Yeah, I could go into. We can all do it. We can all pick faults. But that's the point. And the fact. But at that same time, so whilst the girl was let herself down completely, yeah, one of the men there was absolutely gold. He works to prevent violence within the black community, black on black crime. That's what he dedicates his life to. I think he's probably lived a life after speaking to him, in and out of jail. So, and I found that at each meeting I've gone to. So there's such a diverse group of opinions. And then basically my purpose in this was to, when I sat down with these in the first meeting, I said, let me ask you if you agree with these things. And I started and read out 5 points. One of them being, do you want to break up the nucleus of the family? Do you want to break up the family? Do you think it's good to have a family? Or do you want to break up? No, of course I don't. Do you want to tackle the stranglehold of heteronormativity? So men being with women? No. Do you want to smash capitalism? No. So, okay, well, these are all the main points of Black Lives Matter as an organisation. So what exactly is it about the organisation that you're offended about? Because I had a rant against that organisation. What is it about that organisation that you actually do support? What points is it? And the insanity in it all is, even with this young girl who's a business owner, I then asked her, Black Pound Day, explain to me, because this is so divisive. I've gone on the comment section and I've done negative and positive comments under the BBC News article. 93% are against it. 93% are making negative comments about Black Pound Day, about it being racist, about it being divisive. 93%. So if that's meant to help the black community in any way or help racial tensions, it's not. And then when I asked the purpose of it, the girl said, well, it's to give black entrepreneurs help and thrive their businesses. Oh, it's capitalism that you want to smash, that you want to get rid of. So you're sitting here as a business owner, yet your organisation wished to tear down capitalism. And this is the real telling part. After that meeting, I received a phone call, and a phone call from quite a posh, educated-sounding lady. I speak to her for 17 minutes. I've recorded the phone call. It will all be in my video that I put together. I record the phone call, and she's asking me. She's the PA of the girl who went on a bit of a racist rant and got very angry and wanted to commit violence, or offer violence. Now, she said, can we not show that footage? I said, who are you? She said, I'm her PA. I said, you're Sasha's PA? Yeah. What are you a PA in? Black Lives Matter or a personal life? Everything. Okay. So you're a PA in everything. And then
PA for everything.
I know. And I spoke to this girl. For 17 minutes, and all she went on about was Marxism. Yeah. And then it got to the point I said, if you get rid of capitalism, what are you replacing it with? Answer the question. You want to smash cap. She was trying to get to the point that capitalism is racist. Yeah. It's that racist. It's that racism that's dividing everyone, etc., etc. This was her point in her argument. And then at the end of the conversation, I said, can I just ask you one more question? Are you black? No. And I was like, but this is the problem. You have a political ideology that you cannot push on your own. You cannot win at the ballot box. You cannot. You tried with Jeremy Corbyn. You tried with Hillary Clinton. You can't win. So what you've done as Marxists is you've hijacked and taken over an issue about black people's rights because you know you can wind them up. You know they'll go out and commit violence. You know you can get them on the streets in their masses. And all of it, it's nothing to do with Black Lives. That's what, because she didn't mention it in the 70s.
Can we just get this clear, Tommy? So this woman that you were speaking to, she's white.
I'd say she's a handler. I'd say she's a handler.
She's a?
I'd say she's a handler. I got off the phone and said that's her.
She's a white, middle-class, Marxist handler of the black girl that you was
working class girl who's angry about things and being whipped up and then being directed and what's it for? This is what got me so angry. Where in my angry rant I said, it's a Marxist. You're trying to bring in Marxism. You're trying to smash our society. You're trying to get rid of the police. You want total anarchy, so you can come in with a communist solution. That's all you're trying to do. Yeah. But then, so that's one meeting, and I went to a meeting yesterday that I was pretty lucky to walk out of. I think because I don't go places with security. People see that, yeah, because I think it sends the wrong message, in the sense that I went to Newham. I got invited to Newham. I spoke to this lad. He said, yeah, come down to Newham, meet us at this gym. So I went and I've done a little piece to camera saying, I wonder what we're walking into here. Yeah? There's moss everywhere. There's this metal shutters. I said, we might not walk out of here. Yeah. I said, but we're going to walk in with our hands up, say, look, I haven't brought a mob of men. I've come to talk. And I went in, and this bloke was one of the biggest arseholes I've ever met. He literally, it's like a comedy skit. He grabbed my hand as hard as he could grab my hand. He stood with his arms like this the whole time, with his big screw face on. And I was like, well, mate, what are you doing? Well, mate, he said, now's for some extreme de-radicalisation. Yeah. Little did I know, which I'll get onto, he puts a hammer in the middle of the room. He puts out 3 seats. So we all sit down. I'm sitting in the middle, and these two, there's a black lad here, there's a Muslim here, this geezer's a Muslim, there's another couple of their friends there. And I'm sat there, I said, yeah. Well. And then he goes, now I'm going to tell you how serious this is. Yeah? And he just went on about how at risk my life is, and how I'll get killed, and how he's now going to give me an ultimatum, and how I need to change, and this hammer can be smashed against any one of our heads at any time. Total boring idiot. Anyway, the other fella, one of the fellas, Levi, was totally great. Yeah, he was trying to be, but this other fella was totally. He started on my cameraman straight away. So got up in his face. So I knew straight away, this is going to be eventful. Like this man, but you know, I've looked up and found out this bloke works for the government's prevent scheme. This guy works. He's pictured with all the Labour politicians. He's part of the government prevent scheme. This clown, I've looked because I didn't know who he was because I got hijacked. He actually said we've hijacked this meeting. I said I'm not here to talk about Islam previously. I'm here to talk with the black community. My dad's black, or his dad's a Pakistani and his mum's black. Right? But your problem's to do with what I say about Islam and Muslims. Yeah? That's your problem. Right? I'm here to talk to the black community about Black Lives Matter and about the tensions between black and white communities. But that's how, and this discussion went, and then some lads tried getting into the place. The camera footage finishes. I'm sat there and I look because I see feet all outside, and I think, oh man, I've fucked up here big time. I've walked in and put myself on a plate, and then boom, 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 but they're bashing the doors, and I'm like, I said to lads, like, fucking hell, lads. Like, I think it's pretty cowardly, I do. I still think his actions, I would never invite anyone to come somewhere, to be mob-banded or standing there, to then try and intimidate them. I said, if you're trying to, he said, you walk outside that door, you'll die now. I said, I'm still going to walk outside that door. This de-radicalisation program isn't working because I'm still going to say what I'm saying. If you're here to tell me, give me this big telling off with a hammer in the middle, and then you think I'm going to walk out of here and not talk about what I talk about, I don't know what planet you're on, mate. But he really thought he was. To be honest, he really pissed me off. And in a different scenario, because I just sat there and thought, I knew the whole time I was trying to play it diplomatically because I could see and sense we were minutes. He made it very clear as well. This is the streets. He thought he was such a gangster, and he was just a clown on steroids. He said, "This is the streets. There's no walls on the streets. There's no police here. There's no prison screws here. No one will be stopping this shit." I was just like, "Oh, mate, it's Tuesday afternoon. Or whatever. I'm starving, and I'm sat here listening to you ranting at me without a single argument again." Because what I said is, tell me what I've said, mate, that's problematic. No, he can't, can he? He just wants to scream. And this is the problem. And then I bought loads of paperwork. And he said, what's that? What's that? I said, it's called research. Yeah? This is what gives me my opinion. Yeah? This is where I base my opinion on. It's facts. Put that down. Put that down. I said, put down the stuff that is why we're here. We're here because to counter the lies that are being perpetrated by the media, that black people are being hunted down and murdered in the streets by police. And they're not. So if they are as much as any other community are, and in fact, less when you go through the statistics, but that's what I done yesterday. I've got more meetings set up. I hope they're more successful than that. I have a good one that we're working on for next week with an audience. So we're going to bill it a bit like Question Time show, where I'm going to be sitting with a black nationalist to debate, discuss. They want to have issues with me. I'm happy to answer any questions to anyone, anywhere, because I think that, more importantly, I think it's important that the black community distance themselves from this Marxist mess. I think it's very, very, because friends are falling out across this country. Communities are being broken across this country. I mean, I'm speaking to one mate who runs a gym up in Derby. He's like, mate, I've trained with these lads for 15 years. We fell out because they're arguing for Black Lives Matter, even amongst my own friends. I've got the black lads supporting Black Lives Matter without knowing anything about it, yeah? Just because it's got black wrote in the title of the name. And the equivalent, it's like the equivalent. I said, mate, the racism, the extremism, and the violence coming out of that organisation, and everyone's walking around on the back of their football shirts, is disgusting. It's disgusting that our Premier League have not done any research. It's just disgusting that they have politicised the sport that this country loves. It's disgusting that they've done it. And it's absolute, I feel ashamed that no British footballer stood up against it, and that all of them got down on their knees like little bitches to Marxist thuggery and intimidation. Because this organisation is intimidating businesses across America. It's that their leaders are on TV saying we are going to burn the country down. Yeah, their threats of murder and violence. They've murdered 11 police officers in a 2-year period. Yeah, that's not to include the black people they've all been killing recently. But I think what you'll find by the end of my meetings is that many of the black people I'm meeting are actually opposed to Black Lives Matter as well. That's what I'm finding as well. It's a total mix.
We will make America great again.